Hey and welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and this is the Fluffy Oracle. This pick a card is going to be very unique today. This pick a card is going to be all about signs when someone is thinking about you. Signs for you to pick up on and notice, or signs that you may have kind of wondered about if they were signs or not, and hopefully get a clear answer on those for kind of signals when someone is thinking about you. So for pile 1, we have an amethyst crystal. Pile 2, we have a quartz crystal with some pink in it. And then we have, for pile 3, we have the spirit quartz. So feel free to take as much time as you need to make your choice between the piles. Timestamps will be down below in the description box, as well as any affiliate links for the decks in case you like any of these decks and kind of wonder what they are. And I will also have some timestamps down in the first comment for my mobile users. So if you're new here, feel free to go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe and share this video out as much as you want. Maybe somebody can use this information just as much as you guys. So if you know someone, go ahead, share it out. And I will see you in just a sec at your pile. So for my loves for pile number 1, let's get into this. So we have abundance, decrease, and completion. Now, none of these cards am I attracted to the words in this, because I'm more attracted to the pictures in this for the signs that you would be seeing. And also the number 55 really stands out to me. So if you end up seeing like a lot of 5s, and kind of going off into almost like a daydreamy like state, kind of just letting your mind wander out of the blue and kind of feeling really free about it, that's kind of another way that you can tell that someone is thinking of you. And it's usually also the first person that pops into your mind whenever this tends to happen. Sometimes you'll also see like their name repeated, or like maybe even their last name, and it'll make you randomly think of them out of the blue, because these signs tend to come in out of the blue is what I get. Then we have visualization, if I can speak this morning, compassion, and divine consciousness. So with these cards, I feel like it kind of goes well with it kind of drifting off into daydreaming from what I was saying earlier with the previous card below it. For the abundance card for that. So with the visualization, I feel like a lot of daydreaming tends to happen quite a bit. Like you start drifting off into space, kind of like as if you don't have a care in the world with the compassion card. Like everything just seems easier. And I feel like because this happens out of the blue, it kind of gives you almost a telepathic communication connection with this person that's thinking about you, and you kind of can feel or sense or even sometimes hear some of their thoughts and know exactly what they're thinking. Like if a certain subject pops up into your mind out of the blue and you just start thinking about it, or you almost kind of have like a conversation with them in your head, that's technically another sign that someone is thinking about you, or that you have a telepathic bond and communication line open with them and that connection with them. Because you guys seem to be very intertwined and interconnected with these people that come into your mind and that you think about. And you can also feel sometimes what they're thinking and kind of like feel their emotions, and it kind of just almost comes in out of nowhere and kind of takes over almost. And then we have, let's see, we have the money card. I feel like whenever you guys sense something feels a little bit off or kind of fishy, because I'm not so attracted to the money part of this card, I'm more attracted to the koi fish in this. Whenever something feels a little bit fishy or off to you, this person tends to be thinking about you. So kind of try and pay attention to that and kind of think about where your thoughts go. Well, not think about where your thoughts go, but pay attention to where your thoughts go and kind of explore that. And that'll kind of give you a clue as to what this person is thinking about you. And also, again, the first person that pops in your mind whenever you have that feeling is generally the person that's thinking about you. So we have, I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. And then we have energy flows where my intention goes. So everything is connected, because I'm really attracted to the kind of like flower of life pattern up here. and the eye symbol in this card. I feel like there's this very strong psychic bond connection with this, and it kind of sends your abilities kind of tingly, like really, really tingly, because I'm really attracted to this, and it kind of gives me like a tingly feeling when I'm reading this card. But remember, wherever it is that you're directing your energy, this person can feel it too. So the connection goes vice versa in both ways. So these are your messages. I do hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you guys next video. Alrighty, for my loves who chose pile number 2, the quartz with like a little bit of pink in it, and I see some hematite spots as well in it. It's the red hematite specks. But anyways, for pile number 2, your signs, you guys tend to notice a lot of little different things. And you when you think of, when you're all of a sudden you're thinking and another person pops into your mind, you guys are mirroring them, and whoever it is that pops up in your mind is the person who's been thinking about you. So when these thoughts appear, you tend to be mirroring their thoughts. And sometimes you kind of have thoughts that are technically your own, that are a little bit more intimate than others. And it'll be like out of the weirdest blue. And it's just like something that really strikes you as odd. And you're just like, wait a minute, why am I thinking about that right now? You kind of catch yourself thinking about these lustful thoughts from time to time, and sometimes you notice a lot of different little things. But for this, I really feel strongly that the minute you start thinking about someone, they tend to pop up either through text or a phone call. That's kind of, and like they tend to also be going through the same exact thing, or like they were thinking about you at the exact same moment, kind of mirroring each other. So we have intelligence, seeing, and presence. So the presence card actually goes really well with the dispersion, with being aware, like I was saying before, of the little things, and kind of paying attention to all the little things that tend to fly up around you. And then some of you have remote vision. You begin to be able to see kind of like as if you're seeing through the other person's eyes. And you know things about this other person that you normally wouldn't know. Like you'd actually have to be there in order to know these things, but you already know them, is what I'm getting with the intelligence card. So when you're face to face with this person, you can, and sometimes end up bringing up something in there like, how did you know that? That type of thing. That kind of proves that you have a connection to them. And you're able to pull things out of basically thin air and kind of add some solidarity to it, like some hard evidence, basically, because you already know it. Almost as if you were in the same, room or there at the exact same time that said thing happened that you bring up, and they're like, well, how did you know? Because you weren't there, technically. That sort of thing. So we have I choose love no matter what. I choose to learn through love. And then we have action. So with these 3 cards, I feel like sometimes you are in the mood to go and automatically go and do something. Or like you don't understand why you want to go to, say, for example, the mall. And you end up making that choice consciously to go to the mall, and then you end up running into this person. That's another sign that that person is thinking of you when you tend to run into them. Or say, for instance, you're walking home and you choose to go a different direction, and it's like maybe 5-10 minutes out of your way, and you tend to run into them. That person might have been thinking about you, or at least someone of your energy. Even if they're a new person, they were kind of thinking and kind of hoping that someone like you would walk into their lives, and it tends to actually happen. But it all comes down to making the action and paying attention to what's going on around you, and then kind of acting on it, basically. It's a conscious choice, though. If you make the conscious choice to do that, that's kind of like your intuitive nudge saying, go this way. You're going to walk into something, or you're going to meet somebody that you were supposed to, because they were kind of thinking of someone exactly like you at that exact moment. And bam, there you are. So these are your messages. I do hope that you enjoyed this reading and that this does help you. If you have any further questions, feel free to give me a comment down below and I will do the best I can to answer it. And if you're new here, go ahead and feel free to give this video a thumbs up and feel free to consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed this. And I will see you guys next video. Alrighty, so for my loves who chose pile number 3, let's get into your signs. So for some of you, I feel like you kind of get almost overwhelmed with emotion out of nowhere, and it kind of takes you by surprise and puts you a little bit off guard. And you tend to also notice a lot of these sudden changes, because I'm really attracted to the butterfly. And you almost kind of like try to ignore some of them or tiptoe around them with what I'm getting with these cards. But I also feel like sometimes they can make you slip up a little bit and kind of drift off as well. Kind of almost into like a daydream-like state. Then we have crown chakra, forgiveness, and passion. I feel like with some of you, you tend to kind of, when you go into this daydream-like state, you kind of tend to manifest a lot quicker. Like, you begin to think about someone at the exact same time that they're thinking about you, and then all of a sudden they reach out to you or you run right into them because you've manifested each other at that exact same time because you've had that connection and you kind of had the same vibrational match to them. And that's another sign that that person was thinking about you at the exact same time, is when you have that sudden manifestation of each other, or that sudden thought, or like they call you out of the blue, or they message you out of the blue, or like I said before, like they run into you, or like you end up messaging them or like calling them and they're like, oh, I was just thinking about you. That's another major sign that they were thinking about you, obviously, because they just said it, but nonetheless, you had that connection with them telepathically and you were on their same vibrational match, and you were able to feel kind of like their pull for you. So with the last two cards I have, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. And then it says, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So with these, it's all about like the manifestation thing, the instant manifestation, because once you're able to be connected with that person or on the same wavelength or vibrational match, it's almost an instant manifestation, like power bomb is what I'm getting with this. It's just like really intense, and there's not a lot of connections like you find that there's not a lot of connections like that out there for you, but those that are, it's kind of like shocking and awing for you, and it's kind of cool, and you want to explore more of that, I feel. So you can tend to do that with a lot of different things. Also with other signs where you can sometimes be feeling really drawn to go somewhere, you might run into someone that is thinking about kind of or wishing for someone of your same vibrational match, and you were kind of vice versa as well, with you thinking about someone and kind of wanting to pull someone like that into your life. Pay attention to all these thoughts and feelings that are going on within you and around you, because there are definitely some strong signs and signals that someone is thinking about you, or vice versa, you thinking about them and pulling them into your reality. So I know this was really quick, but feel free, if you felt drawn to some of the other piles, to check them out as well, to see what other signs and signals that you might come across to actually help you out and pay attention to. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, share it out as much as you like, or as much as possible. Maybe it'll help somebody else out there. You never know. And if you're new here, go ahead and feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and give me a thumbs up, and also comment down below and let me know how these work out or resonate for you. Alrighty? Thanks, and have a blessed one, and know that I love you. See you next video, guys.
I'm dreaming.